Okay, so what do you know about Japan? You already know about Hello Kitty, and you probably know that Pikachu and all of his Pokemon friends are from Japan. And that Pokemon is played on the DS, made by the Japanese company Nintendo, which also happens to make the Wii. Whereas the PSP and PS4, those are made by Sony, another Japanese company. Japanese brand name recognition is most common with cars and motorcycles. Mitsubishi, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Daihatsu, Yamaha, and Mazda, those are all Japanese. But there are other Japanese products we may not know are Japanese. That Japanese animation, for example. This is known as anime, and has a significant presence here in our United States. Dragon Ball Z, Evangelion, Fist of the North Star, and Death Note are just a few examples of Japanese anime now well entrenched in American culture. It's also worth mentioning that the Transformers are originally Japanese. Here's the original Transformer robot Diaclone from 1980. The Japanese love robots. This Japanese scientist made a robotic copy from himself, and a well-known Japanese fashion model is in fact a robot. And here the robot Saya is teaching a class at a Tokyo primary school. Asimo, built by Honda, can independently climb stairs like a human. Technological achievements like this lead to other advances in helping the human condition, such as these prototypes for people that otherwise have no ability to walk. Japanese technology reaches into space also. Their additions to the International Space Station include this enormous laboratory, and their rocket program continues with the new Epsilon launching in 2013. Now, here back on Earth, Japanese technology is perhaps most evident in their bullet trains, called Shinkansen, which began moving people at high speed way back in 1964. Here's one of their more recent models, which has already been in service a number of years. The bullet trains are not just one or two or three railway lines, it's an entire network, which links all of Japan's major cities. In fact, when you include all the other train lines in the country, Japan has an amazing 9,650 train stations. This means you can go almost anywhere in Japan by train, and it is safe, comfortable, and quiet. It is the largest and most modern railway system in the world. Not surprisingly, some Japanese train stations are among the most beautiful and technologically sophisticated in the world. Here's a subway map of the Tokyo area. There are 924 stations, and they need them. Tokyo is huge. It is the most modern megalopolis in the world. Tokyo is filled with incredible architecture. Also, Japan is the world leader in making buildings earthquake-proof. However, my personal favorite is the new Kabuki Theater in Tokyo, made in the traditional Japanese style. But Tokyo is perhaps best known for its nightlife. There are thousands and thousands of small restaurants and bars throughout the city, most of them having a capacity of just a dozen people or so. And of course, at many of those establishments, karaoke is very popular. Karaoke is a Japanese creation, so it's not surprising to find out that karaoke is in fact a Japanese word, which translates literally as empty orchestra. Tokyo also has a reputation for what is now known as Tokyo street fashion. The Japanese are impeccable dressers, not just in Tokyo, but throughout the entire country. Attention to detail is a very Japanese characteristic found not just in old and new fashion styles, but in their daily lives as well. It is this attention to detail that explains, in part, why Japan is so incredibly clean.